Today for health, I need you to take out a sheet of paper, and you're going to keep track of your score, and I'm going to keep track of how many questions I asked. At the end, based on how many questions I asked, I'm going to say if you guys got this certain amount right, I will have to eat one warhead or one lemon head. Now, you guys think they're great. I think they're disgusting. And if we get to another level, then I'll have to put 2 in my mouth at one time. If we get to another level, 3, or maybe 4. Oh, that sounds torturous. And I'll put it on my next health video, okay? But do not cheat, because that will be horrible. Don't lie that you got a good score just to torture your teacher. Just kidding. All right, so you ready? We're going to start with the parts of the skin. So if you know the parts of the skin, woohoo! Okay, so there are 6 parts of the skin. Let's start. Oh, and you have to get the answer before I say it. Now, if you need to, if you're like, wait a minute, you can always pause it and try to answer it and take the time you need before playing, okay? So, all right, but I'll try to give you some time. What is this thing right here? You should see that thing of water and know that this is the sweat gland. Sweat gland. Did you get that correct? That's 1 point. This is actually a little sac in which the hair grows. The sac that a root of a hair grows in. This is the hair follicle. The little sac that a hair grows. All right, this one right here. This has oil for your hair, and this is sebaceous gland, and the oil is called sebum. All right, now let's go over the layers of skin. We have epidermis, dermis, subcutaneous layer. So far, I've asked 6 questions, so I wonder if you have 6 points. Hopefully not, because I don't want to be eating all of those sour candies. Blech. Okay. When I was a kid, though, I loved them. I would eat them, now I just feel like the inside of my mouth is dying. Okay, now look. We have a tooth. Here's our tooth. What is this part that we can see? This is the crown, the part below that you cannot see. This is your root. Okay, then you have this layer, this thin layer that holds the tooth together in place, or holds a tooth in place. This thin layer that holds it in place, this is the cementum. I know that's a little bit harder. This is the cementum. Then you have this part, the pink part that separates that thin layer, the tiny thin layer, from the jawbone. And what is this? This is the periodontal membrane, What about this part that contains the blood vessels? This is pulp. The part that gives the tooth its shape. Dentin, and the hardest substance in the body. This is enamel. Let's see. I asked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions. 8. No. Actually, no. 7. Did you get all 7? So if so, you have 13 points right now. That is awful. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now let's get started in chapters 4 and 5 for review. Pay attention, especially for chapter 5, because you do have a quiz today on chapter 5. So let's go. All right. This digestive juice in your mouth. Saliva. It is saliva. Gross. Let's see. The hardest substance in your body. What's the hardest substance in your body? It is your enamel. Did you get that? The hard bone-like tissue that forms and shapes the tooth. The hard bone-like tissue that forms and shapes the tooth. This is your dentin. Okay. What about The inner part of the tooth containing the blood vessels and the nerves. This is your pulp. Pulp. Thin covering that holds the tooth firmly together. Cementum. Hey, this is not fair. I feel like I've just asked these questions where I was showing the diagram of the tooth. The layer between the cementum and the jawbone. The layer between cementum and jawbone is the periodontal membrane. The sticky, colorless film of bacteria. Sticky, colorless film of harmful bacteria. This is plaque. How ironic. We're talking about plaque, and now I'm talking about rotting my teeth out with some sour candies. Okay, plaque breaks down the sugar in your mouth and turns it into what? It is acid. Acid. And what's another name for cavities? They're your dental caries. Your dental caries. Okay. When is the best time to eat sugar-rich foods? It is at meal times. Did you get at meal times? I hope you did. Okay, I think I asked all those questions there. So now we're going on to the next part. Okay, here's a really important question. Give me some ways to control plaque. What would be effective plaque control? Think about it. What would help keep us from getting plaque? Now, since this is one thing we have not gone over a lot, I will give you 1 point for every answer that you say that is correct. Okay, so in order to keep your you from plaque buildup, here's some of the things that I would say. Number 1 would be you need to brush your teeth. Not very hard. Brush your teeth at meal times. Then you also need to brush your teeth at bedtime. And the third is you need to floss at least once a day. The fourth is eat less sugary foods. And the fifth is go to the dentist. Have a dental checkup. Okay, so you could have gotten a possibility of 5 points. Dental checkup, eat less sweets, brush your teeth at mealtimes, brush your teeth at bedtime, and floss your teeth. Okay? So say those with me. And I'm going to say there's a possibility of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, brush at mealtimes, brush at mealtimes, brush at night, floss once, eat less sugar, and go to the dentist for a checkup. All right, hopefully you were able to get those and faster than me because that took me a second. Okay, we already went over the parts of the teeth. Bad breath. What's another word for bad breath? It's your halitosis. And when should you brush your teeth? As soon as possible after you eat and bedtime, okay? When are plaque-producing bacteria the most active? They are the most active at night. All right, so far I think I've asked 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 31 questions. Wow. Okay, remember we just said brush your teeth once. I'm getting confused. Brush your teeth at mealtimes and at bedtime. And floss once a day at least. All right, now this is an important question, and it is a little bit of a harder one. What is the deposit when plaque starts building up on your teeth, the sticky, colorless material, and then it starts to harden and form something like a hard deposit on your teeth, where it looks like it's part of your tooth maybe, but then you get to the dentist and they take that scraper and then you hear, and you're like, oh my word, why are they killing my tooth? And they aren't, they're scraping this stuff, this plaque that's hardened. What is this hardened plaque? Remember I said it's like a math subject. It is calculus. Calculus. Now, if you go a long time without taking care of that calculus, you can get periodontal disease. Periodontal disease. What is the improper fitting of the upper and the lower teeth called? It is called malocclusion. Malocclusion. That was a little bit a harder one. What's the doctor that specializes in malocclusion? What happens if you have improper fitting? You need to go to the orthodontist. Orthodontist. All right. And what is a balanced diet? A balanced diet is eating a variety of foods containing all the nutrients necessary to keep you healthy. So basically, it's eating a bunch of different foods that are rich in vitamins and keep you healthy. All right. We talked about dental hygienists. They're the ones who help you. I just said that the dentist assistant is called the dental hygienist. Okay, so one more time. What's a hardened buildup of plaque? This is your calculus. What do we call a thin covering over the root of the tooth, which holds the tooth firmly together? Cementum. A decay of your teeth or cavities? Dental caries. A hard bone-like tissue which forms and shapes a tooth. This is dentin, the hardest substance in your body. Covers the outside of a tooth. This is your enamel. The improper fitting of the upper and lower teeth. Malocclusion. Dentist who specializes in malocclusion, treating malocclusion, is orthodontist. I just asked these, but this is in the chapter checkup. What is a sticky, colorless film of harmless bacteria, which is constantly forming on and between the teeth? This is your plaque. The inner part of the tooth that has the nerves and the blood vessels. This is your pulp. A digestive juice in the mouth. Saliva. What happens when sugar mixes with plaque? What do you get? You get acid, and that's not good. Okay. If a tooth gets knocked out, what part of the tooth should you not touch? It is the root. The root is the correct answer. And we just said a balanced diet, so we're not going to ask that again. What do we call an infection of the gums and the bones supporting the teeth? Think of what that's called, that pink part. Your periodontal disease. Periodontal disease. How often should you floss your teeth? At least once a day. At least once a day. When should you brush your teeth? As soon as possible after you eat and at bedtime. And what mineral is absorbed by the enamel on the teeth? So they say you're supposed to brush your teeth with this certain kind of toothpaste. It is fluoride. And what causes halitosis? Some foods, infection, breathing through your mouth, different things like that. Okay, so far I have asked 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 51 questions. Wow, I am asking a lot. Okay, your skin, we're on chapter 5 now. Now really pay attention to this because like I said, you will have a quiz on this after this. What is your skin made up of? It is made up of cells. It is made up of cells. Your outer skin, what's your outer skin called? It is your epidermis. What happens when there's constant rubbing or pressure and then you get a thick, hard layer of epidermis? Think of playing guitar. You would get a callus. A callus. And what happens when you have a raised part of the epidermis that gets filled with a watery substance? Those are so painful. It is a blister. A blister. Have you ever had a blister? They hurt so bad. I used to have blisters every single time that I got a mosquito bite. It was awful because I was allergic. All right, we're talking about the 4 signs of infection. Remember P, R, S, and T? What are they? Your 4 signs of infection. Pus, redness, swelling, throbbing pain. Okay, pus, redness, swelling, throbbing pain. All right, we talked about rubbing alcohol or hydrogen peroxide. Both of these are referred to as this because they're destroying germs and pathogens. So what do we call those? It begins with an A. It's a antiseptic. Antiseptic. Okay, now we are talking about your skin and what is the coloring matter of your skin? The color. Okay, think of the color pink and you think of an animal. This is your pigments. What is the dark colored pigment? The pigment that gives you a brownish color. This is melanin. Melanin. What are the harmful rays of our sun called? Ultraviolet rays. Now, there are some people that have no pigment in their skin at all. What are they called? They have no pigment in their skin at all. They are albinos. Albinos. What is the layer of skin underneath the epidermis? It is the dermis. Okay. This is very important. The sac that the root of each hair grows in. The little home, the little sac that the root of the hair grows in. Well, I said hair, and we're talking about hair growing. It's in the hair follicle. The hair follicle. Okay. The fatty layer of skin that stores your energy. Remember we said, oh, babies, you just want to pinch them because they're so. Yep, what's the fatty layer? This is the subcutaneous layer. Subcutaneous layer. Now, which burn affects all three layers of skin? This would be a third-degree burn. Which burn only affects the first layer of skin? This would be a first-degree burn. Which type of burn affects epidermis and dermis? This would be a second-degree burn. Which one requires cool cloth and then a sterile bandage? This would be a second-degree burn. Which one would require emergency medical treatment? This would be a third-degree burn. Which would require cold water or cold cloths? First-degree burn. First-degree burn. All right. Now, in your dermis, you have these oil glands. What are your oil glands referred to as? These are your sebaceous glands. And what's the oily substance of the sebaceous glands? This is called your sebum. What is your body's cooling system? Helps your body to maintain its temperature. What happens when you get hot? You sweat. So your sweat glands, they help cool you off. And let's see. Sunshine vitamin. This is vitamin D. Vitamin D. If you don't have enough vitamin D, you can get this disease. What is this disease called? Where your bones become weak and brittle. This is rickets. Rickets. How does a scab help protect your skin? Well, it protects your wound or your cut. Let's see. So, we talked about guarding against disease. What are the 4 ways that we said you can help guard against disease? Remember I said these are very practical ways. 4 ways to guard against disease. Think about it. How can you make sure that you're not getting sick as much? Well, number 1 is eat the right foods, right? You need to eat nutrient-rich foods. Number 2, I said drink a lot of water. Number 3, I said exercise. And number 4, I said you need to rest. So I'm going to give you, if you got those, you get 4 possible points. So let's go over them. Ready? It is exercise, sleep, eat the right foods, and drink enough water. All right, so those are pretty practical, I believe. Okay, now the next thing we talked about, the cream or lotion that helps get rid of harmful ultraviolet rays. What's the cream or lotion that you can put on your body to keep out the ultraviolet rays? That is sunscreen. How much sleep should you be getting? You should be getting 9 to 12 hours. Okay, and if you do not protect your body, what is the most common form of cancer that you could get from not protecting your skin? Oops, I think I just said it. Skin cancer. Okay, let's go on to your chapter checkup. What layer of your skin has your hair and your nails? This is your epidermis. What are 4 signs of infection? P-R-S-N-T. Pus, redness, swelling, throbbing pain. What is the most harmful result of overexposure to the sun? Skin cancer. What is the condition of your skin often... Oh, no, never mind. Okay. Coloring matter. Pigment. An oily substance produced by the oil glands of the skin that gives your skin a shiny appearance. This is sebum. The fatty layer of skin that stores energy. Subcutaneous layer. A cream or lotion that screens out harmful rays. Sunscreen. This is a gland in the epidermis that helps control body temperature. This is sweat gland, a raised part of the epidermis filled with a watery substance caused by excessive rubbing or burning. Blister, the layer beneath the epidermis. Dermis, dark colored pigment giving the skin its brown color. Melanin, the little sac in the dermis which a root of a hair grows. Hair follicle, a substance which destroys many pathogens and prevents infection. Antiseptic, a thick, hard layer of epidermis. Callus, the outer layer of skin. Epidermis. That was my last question. And I know that was a lot. But we do have our test on Wednesday, so this is just a good review for that. So let me see. I asked 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 98 questions. Ooh, I should ask 2 more questions. Oh, okay, I'll ask that question that I was going to ask before. Why is the condition of your skin often an indication of your overall health? Because many diseases and disorders are seen on your skin. And then question 100. What is a little sac in the dermis which a root of a hair grows? And I know I've asked that 3 times, but that's really important. It is your hair follicle. Okay, I've asked 100 questions, and there are 10 of you. So, that means you guys have a total of a possibility of 1,000 points together. So, let's see. If together you have at least 500 points. If together you have 500 points, I will give you guys, I will eat 1 warhead. 600 points total, I will eat 2 at one time. 700 points, 3. 800 points, I will put 4 in my mouth. Oh my, that's disgusting. 900 points, I will put 5 in my mouth. There's no way that you guys would have 1,000, because then that would mean that each of you got a perfect score. But if you got 1,000, I'll put 6. That's nasty. Okay, so when you get done watching this video, count up your points that you got. There is a possibility of 100 points. And you tell me how many points you got in the Google Classroom comments. I will tally it up, and tomorrow, either on tomorrow's health video or Wednesday's health video, Tuesday's health video or Wednesday's health video, I will eat those warheads, either before the test or before tomorrow's review game, okay? I only say that because there's a possibility that I might record that video before you guys tell me all your answers. Actually, you probably will. So on test day, we'll say that. On test day, I will eat all those warheads. Now, if you got a bad score and you want to improve your score, you can watch it again and review. That'll just help you even more for studying because you don't have to do any reading or anything today. So you could do that again. Whatever you want to do. But like I said, I will tell you how many I have to eat once I tally it all up. Be honest with your score though. Also, take Health Quiz 8 right now, and don't forget to post Health Quiz 8. And don't forget, test is on Wednesday. I'll see you next time, and I hope I don't have to eat very many warheads. Bye!